Question number 9, Jacinda Ardern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Social Development and asks, does she believe that Child, Youth and Family have the resources they require to care for the needs of our most vulnerable children?
Mr. Speaker.
Chester Burrows.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Minister, I believe that Child, Youth and Family has been well resourced. This government's increased its funding by nearly 15% over the last 4 years. So we now have more social workers, about 250 more social workers, working with a bigger budget, investigating more cases in a more timely way. With the response-based interventions, there will always be times when resources are stretched, but I believe we do have sufficient resources to care for the needs of vulnerable children.
Thank you.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary. In light of that answer, how does she explain her response to estimate questions which show that the longest wait for a SIFS notification classified as critical because the child was severely abused or was in immediate danger of death or harm was 5 days, when they are meant to be assigned a caseworker within 24 hours?
Honourable Chester Burrows.
On behalf of the Minister, it's important to note that the timeframes referred to in the estimates questions referred to when recordings were made in respect of allocations, not in respect of the time where action was taken or intervention was made.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister. How does she explain that the longest wait for SIFS notifications that are classified very urgent because the child has been abused or neglected and there is a risk of further abuse or neglect was 31 days before a social worker was even allocated the case, when it's meant to happen within 48 hours?
Honourable Chester Burrows.
On behalf of the Minister, I can only repeat the answer I'd given to the previous supplementary, and I don't have specifics around the 31-day matter that the member has raised. I'm happy to check it and get back to that member.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister. How also does she explain the fact that the longest wait for SIFS notifications that are classified as urgent, because while the child is protected from harm in the short term, there is an allegation of abuse, neglect or serious concern, was 67 days, when they should have been allocated a caseworker within just 7 days?
Honourable Chester Burrows.
Mr. Speaker, again, the recording of interventions and who case managers are in respect of individual cases is not necessarily consistent with when the intervention was made or when that allocation was made. It's important to note that we can put it this way for the member. We are now, as previously said in answer to the primary, there are 15% more funded allocations towards SIFS interventions now than there were before. And to just make an analogy, in 2006 we had 1,089 unallocated cases. In 2012 there were just 95. This is out of 150,000 notifications to SIFS.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister. Given these waiting times and the fact that since 2008 notifications to SIFS which require further action have increased by 50% or more than 20,000 cases, will she commit to review the adequacy of baseline funding for Child, Youth and Family as Labor did when it was in government? If not, why not?
Honourable Chester Burrows.
Well, on behalf of the Minister, it's important to note that baseline funding is reviewed annually, and this government is responding in a very positive and popular way to the care of vulnerable children. A whole new strategy has been designed and is being rolled out currently, and we are returning better results than have ever been returned before from Child, Youth and Family, and certainly far better, as illustrated in my previous answer to a supplementary question, than that lot did over there.
Order. Question number 10, Ian McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the